so you're blogging this for grants, is that correct?
Yeah, I wanted to mention the DIY contest to all of our readers because I think it's a great opportunity, A, to win a lot of money, B, to kind of submit your stuff. And I don't know, I mean, you never know who you're going to choose. And sort of I wanted to know, what are you looking for?
True. Okay.
So what are you looking for in the winner of the DIY contest? Does it have to be something elaborate and huge or maybe something smaller?
That's the beautiful thing about it. It doesn't have to be elaborate or huge at all. I'm getting a lot of interesting applications coming through now, but it could be like a home renovation project, could be a bathroom, could be a kitchen, it could be restoring an old car, or it could be building a small piece of furniture for the children. So, the thing is, everything is worthy. It doesn't have to be something that's too over the top because, Morgan, some of the applications I'm getting, there was a gentleman that completely restored a car. There was this gal who had a tree fall over in her front yard. She picked up a chainsaw, she got out there, and she started chopping into it. And then she created all these little stumps. She sanded and stained it and polished it and sealed it. And now there's seats around the dining room table. So it's just interesting seeing what's happening across America now because, more and more people are doing projects themselves. So it's just very, very interesting. So everything is worthy.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm sure a lot of our readers will appreciate that. We submitted our dining room before and after, but I love the idea of the tree stump stools around the dining room table. Ingenious indeed. Okay, so here's some questions about you, Karl. Have you been into DIY since you were younger? Like my husband, his father, he's also in construction. He sort of learned from his father. So what is your DIY background and how far back does it go?
Well, I wasn't as fortunate as your husband. My father was a former street fighter back in the 40s, and my dear old dad didn't even know which end of the hammer to hold.
Wow.
I think, growing up, money was always a little bit of a struggle. We had a cute little house. And I think, there's so many stories. Where do I start? I had nobody really teach me how to do it. But we had quite a small house, and then I just started doing things on my own. We had these large wooden crates. I smashed them up and ended up building a deck across the back of the house. Mm-hmm. And I thought I was like 12 or 13 or something. And then I kind of realised that, hang on a second, we're not really subject to living within the environment where we live, where it's our own control to kind of expand that. And, as rough as the material was, it turned out to be pretty good. And then we extended out the back, and we had this beautiful little deck out the back, and, it looked nice. The wood was a little rough, but it just took hold from then that, you can actually do pretty much anything. My sister was 16 years older than me, so, I was kind of left on my own to kind of find what to do around the house. I think that pretty much started it off right there.
You were way the baby.
Yeah.
Okay, and then another question is, do you have any memories of giving something a new life, like going to a garage sale and seeing a chair and being like, oh, I'll just throw some spray paint on that, or seeing an old vintage frame, just giving something new life, which we love to do on our blog, is sort of take an antique and like upscale it, make it better, make it more modern.
Yeah, there was a few things that we did. Let me see. The deck, I think there's a couple. When I was very young, I thought I could fly, and I'm going back a little bit too far here. And I jumped off. We had some chickens, and I jumped off the chook shed. I soon realised I couldn't fly, and it was my job to fix it up. And again, even just that repair ended up. I didn't actually fix up the chook shed, but I actually made it 3 times larger. I guess
nice.
Past the chickens, I gave them new life. But a lot of our furniture was, pretty standard. There was 3 particular chairs that I did get into and gave it new life. And I think I was probably 13 or 14 at this stage. Because, cool. Again, the dear old dad, he really didn't know what to do. So I think from an early I did restore these 3 pieces of furniture. I had to really educate myself and find the necessary resources into how to do that. I say to a lot of people, building's not rocket science. It's just taking the first couple of steps. And we still have those 3 pieces today. So.
Oh, great. That's really cool. And then, so what is your favorite process? I mean, you're on all these different shows. Is it the reveal? Is it the sort of teaching somebody how to be more hands-on? What's your favorite? And what's your favorite part of the process?
I think what I do, I think it's educating people and teaching people. There's the big reveal, and it's like, ooh, and the and the tears and the drama and stuff. But it's really taking the homeowner and engaging them in the project themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing right now, it's Wasted Spaces, which is turning out to be really popular because no matter if you've got a 10,000 square foot home or, like a small condominium in like Austin or Manhattan, everybody can relate to the fact that they're bursting from the seams. So, just that particular show is working really well because it's just what I'm trying to do is educate people how to find that wasted space and how to utilise that space correctly. That is the biggest reward when I find people can get organised and they're liberated with all that clutter out of their lives. And I think when they start from a clean slate and I look around, I think, hey, I do have some valuable real estate here. Then the creative juices start to flow. But really it's actually helping the homeowners because, I love to do what I do, but with cameras and everything aside, it all means nothing. At the end of the day, I really just get high on actually really helping people getting organised in their own lives. So I've been there, done that, and I know how it feels, and it's good to kind of, relay that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I actually just took, which you would probably find interesting, the Myers-Briggs personality test, and it kind of lays out, and my biggest was teaching, and I realized that I have an innate love of teaching other people new things, new skills, so that's pretty cool. If you were to suggest to our readers to tackle one DIY project or one DIY build that they totally can handle and every house needs, is there any one project that you can think of that you're like, everyone can do this, like build a bookshelf? What would it be?
I think there's a lot of great projects I can start on, but I think probably one of the most important is really just organising the space to start off with. And I'm talking about the garage and I'm talking about the home, because it's really pointless to kind of get involved in any project if there's a lot of stuff around and there's no organisation. And it all comes back to, where are all the tools? And when you get into a garage, for example, and you clear it out and you organise it, you soon realise that you've actually got 3 of those particular tools, or you actually need a little more of this and that. It's really being organised first. So the project is actually getting in the garage and getting into different parts of the home and clearing it out and getting rid of a lot of stuff that, let's say, you haven't used for 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Because I often say that, our material possessions tend to own us. We don't own them if, we've had them for a particular period of time. So it may seem a little bit like I'm stating the obvious, but going through and organising the entire household is really a project I think we can all start, because when you do that, you can then reveal what's going on within the house. Like a garage, for example, when you get everything off the floor and you're thinking, wow, the condition of it's not too good, or the walls aren't looking that great. So that's really the first step. And then it's really a matter of getting a really good toolkit together. Whether you're a guy or a girl, you've got a different profession, you've never done it before, I think if you get a really great toolkit, that's going to be something you'll have for the rest of your life. And when you get involved in small projects, it just gives you the confidence to basically say, hey, if anything breaks it down, bring it on. I can fix it.
Yep, I agree. My husband actually is an account manager with Hilti, so his tool set,
really?
Yeah,
they're a great tool. And they are. In Australia as well.
Yes, they actually are. And he is so funny with organizing his garage. Like when you said that, every weekend I'm like, really? We're going to organize the garage again. We just did that last weekend. So, yes.
And again, to your question, just like if we talked about the garage, when you're organising a garage, when it's all clean and you've got everything sorted out, what am I going to recycle, donate, give away, sell? You then have to look around and think, well, I've got to get everything off the floor, being a wasted spaces guy, and utilise all that wasted space on the walls. So then you're thinking about shelves and cabinets and all of that. So that's where the projects tend to start.
I so agree, because he seems so much more creatively driven when his space is organized. Yeah. And that's all his space.
Yeah, it's often the case, isn't it?
That it is.
Boy, honey, the garage is that way.
Yes, the man cave.
Yeah.
And, okay, so this is just a random question. I'm just wondering how we could ever, like how you got into being on a DIY show. I mean, obviously with an acting and modeling background, that would be amazing for us to get our own little DIY niche even here in Austin. So for people out there who have bigger blogs, how do you say sort of this is how you garner extra exposure?
Oh dear, it's something I've been in the US now for about 10 years, and I came over here out of all things to do a film. I was very busy in Australia running a construction company. I used to do relatively large, luxurious homes and really large renovation restoration projects. We got to the point where I'd finished this large project. This opportunity came up. I came over to do this film to the US, and then the opportunity came up to do a home improvement show. And at first I thought, no, I'm not really interested because I'm not into the drama and the tears. And the network said, hey, hang on a second, it's an expert-based network. And I thought, well, that's cool. Like yourself, the teaching passion came out. I thought, okay, let's give it a shot. And that first few episodes worked out to about 226 episodes today.
Yay!
Yeah, but, for any of your listeners out there or people blogging in, I find it interesting, the world's our oyster, but it seems to be whatever is anchored in us from a young age. And if you basically continue with that, it seems to be what we end up with in life. And, we're all unique in what we do. And I'd say, just follow the passion, and the paths seem to open up.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well said, my friend. Well, Karl, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for your time, and I just appreciate you taking this time out of your busy day. And if you ever hear any inklings on the DIY network for a couple that loves DIY, be like, I know the Cullens in Texas.
I tell you what, and especially with the Wasted Spaces show, I'll keep an eye open for it. And I think this is kind of cool too, because this competition that I'm judging, I've been talking to a lot of radio stations last night till about 2 a.m. this morning. And, the economy's pretty rough at the moment here in the US, and for us to give 10 grand away to somebody, I think is a great thing. And as you know, they're giving away a bunch of other prizes as well. So I'm very fortunate to be a judge for grants, and it's just great seeing the applications pour in, because again, there's some fascinating projects going on here in this country.
Yep, and we'll be linking to some of them below when I run the video on the blog. So we'll be showing our readers some of the cooler projects.
Okay.
Thank you, Karl. Have a great day.
Pleasure. Thank you, sweetie.
Bye-bye.